What is good, YouTube and fellow Smash players? It's your boy Noobs playing Smash. And today I have a video on the Ultimate Controller, the only one you'll need for playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in 2022 and beyond. Now, if you've seen my previous video on GameCube controllers not to buy in 2022, I went over a bunch of controllers that I purchased and found unsatisfactory for playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate due to their inconsistency, input lag, input delay, and other issues. Now, in that video, I had discussed Siphon controllers, and I had stated that I would keep these around in case I ever got into modding or doing customs, and it looks like I did because I had to get to doing some modding of myself. This is going to be the Phob GCC. Now, what I did here, let me explain. The Phob GCC is a replacement motherboard for GameCube controllers that read stick positions using magnets and Hall effect sensors instead of potentiometers that can wear out and degrade over time. These are the potentiometers that came from the Siphon controller that I tried to use as a sacrificial lamb when I was making my Phob GCC. Now, the Phob GCC is revolutionary because it doesn't wear out. There's no contact with the stick box and the actual readings that go onto the board. So wearing down will take extremely long if it ever does happen. Now, in order to make this happen, if you want to make the controller yourself, these are the tools that you are going to need. You're going to need magnets from this website, and I'll be listing all of these in the description so that you won't have any problems finding it yourself. I'll also link the tutorial on how to build your own controller. Shout out to the guy who made it. First, you'll need these magnets. The amount I bought, they're relatively cheap. It only cost me about $20. Pretty inexpensive. You're going to need the TLW 136, and make sure you, or whenever you do order these, make sure you check this box right here, number positions 36. Makes it easier so that when you break them off and put them onto the board, it'll be pretty simple when it comes to soldering it onto the game board. You're going to need the Teensy 4.0 development board. Now, when I came to the website to order them the first time, they were out of stock, and they said they were going to be in stock again on August 8th. Something told me one morning to check the website again way before they were going to be scheduled to be in stock, and they added a pre-order button. So of course, you know, I had to order a few. So order a few Teensys, you know. I had to get a couple Teensys. This is for the haters. I have a hater on my channel already, 19 subs. You know, I have a hater, and he's calling me broke and stuff. Anyway, I ordered a couple Teensys, and they're actually pretty easy to program. So those are going to be $22.80 a piece, and then you're going to need to go to this website and make an account, JLC, PBC. All of this will be in the description. There's a whole tutorial on what you need to do for this. I ordered a bunch of those as well. They look like this when you get them. They're gonna have the little ghost on the side. Yeah, I got a whole bunch. They're all wrapped up in here. Don't want to really expose them to too much. But yeah, so I ordered a bunch of those, and you're also going to need these Hall effect sensors, which I did show you. I ordered about like 50. Nothing major. So once you do obtain all of these parts, you're going to be assembling them using a sacrificial controller. Now, what I attempted to do, I took donor parts from the GameCube Siphon controller. You can see it's an empty motherboard right now. And I had already started assembling them onto this Phob GCC board. The problem is, however, it wouldn't fit into the original shell, so I abandoned the whole project for this one per se, and I ordered a Japan import controller to use as a donor controller. Now, when it comes to the stick boxes, Someone in the Discord told me that they don't recommend us using metal stick boxes, and I understand why, because like magnets, you have to use magnets, and I guess it can mess with the readings because the metal stick boxes are metal, so you gotta deal with that. And you're also gonna need a 3D printer or someone who has a 3D printer to print out magnet holders for you. Got about 40 of them. And the reason why is because gluing the magnets onto the stick box also works, but it's more likely to fall off and break when playing, as opposed to having them firmly secured inside of this. So that is what I did. However, when working on this controller, the first one, because it wouldn't go into the shell, at last resort attempt, pretty sure someone who knows what they're doing is gonna vomit when they see a closer picture of this. I bent the Hall effect sensors to try to make them fit into the board. It still didn't work, so I'm going to have to unsolder these and straighten them out and use them on the next board. And that's what I will be doing for the rest of this video. I will be doing a quick tutorial on how I soldered and put together a Phob GCC. Now the first step will be to program the Teensy 4.0. I prefer to do this before soldering it to the Phob GCC board just because it's much more manageable and movable right now. You're going to need a data capable micro USB cord. This looks similar to the ones that you may have laying around your house, but the majority of those might just be phone chargers and they may not have the wire inside of them that is necessary for data transfer. So you're going to need to make sure that the cable that you use can transfer data. Go ahead and plug that into the Teensy 4.0 board, and I am going to plug it in to top. Once you plug it in, it'll start blinking like this, and that will verify that your board is actually fully functional. I'm going to open a program called Arduino. And this code, everything is going to be in the Discord, the whole tutorial, but for the sake of just showing you the basics. When you do get to this step, do make sure that the board that you have, these lines, delete the slashes in front of the board that you're using. So for me, I'm using the 4.0, so I deleted the slashes in front of it. If you delete more than one slash, you'll have errors with your code. What we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and compile it to make sure that it works. So it's finished compiling and it's giving us a warning that this buffer, this variable is not used, but that's okay. Open the Teensy loader and then you should see this message right here. Let me see if I can move it. It's gonna tell you to push the button on the Teensy to enter the program mode. So we're gonna do that now. And you see on the screen what just happened. Now we're going to hit the upload button to upload the code to the Teensy. And it is done. I'm actually gonna upload it one more time so you guys can see what the board's supposed to look like when it's finished. Uploading it twice shouldn't be a problem. It's just gonna overwrite what was there the first time. And all set. Software version appears and we are good to go. Now to the soldering part. The sacrificial lamb has greatness. We meet again, but this time for a different reason. Oh yeah. Nintendo tried to block me by having tri-wing screwdrivers inside of the controller, which I was luckily able to remove most of them with a tri-wing set that I had bought a while ago. But I couldn't get the ones deep in here. So took one of my old phone accessories that I use when I repair phones and filed it down to create a bootleg tri-wing screwdriver. Nintendo can suck it. Nice, nice. Okay, this is wonderful. Just gotta remove these screws right here. Now it is at this moment in time where I completely and utterly join the circus. Due to my sheer strength and force when attempting to apply the magnet holder to the stick box, I smash the stick box into pieces and proceed to spend the next hour and a half trying to figure out how to put the stick box back together. I had completely forgotten that I was recording at the time, so instead of checking the recording to see how things were assembled, I tried to put it back together myself. I want to give a special shout out to the guys in the Discord and user tech support and maker tech support, especially Ben. Ben knew exactly what the problem was, he knew exactly how to reassemble the stick box, and he walked me through it. Shout out to Ben and Specs, they're real stand-up guys. Now if you look on the screen here, I have made a makeshift stick box assembly in case anyone else ever happens to run into this problem. The black box goes down first, the spring second, the white circular square piece with the hole in the middle, that goes on top of the spring, but you need to flip it upside down, not the way you see it in this picture. Then goes the, the Joy-Con piece, and then you put the white box on top of it, and you should be good to go. It snaps back into position perfectly. Now here's a picture of the stick box completely assembled with the magnets and magnet holders on, screwed onto the C-stick section of the Phob GCC board. Here is the final product, a completely finished Phob GCC board with all of the components from a Japan import controller soldered onto it. I did not show the last step of the process which I did, which was the Hall effect sensor soldering onto the gray analog stick, because soldering under a camera is extremely tedious, especially for the Hall effect sensors, which have very small contact points, and when you solder them you must make sure that they do not connect or you will have a short. At the time of this recording, I am currently in the process of making 2 controllers for 2 other individuals. If you would like me to make you a controller, the requirements are a non-refundable controller deposit for a Black Japan import controller. This ensures that you are serious about having a controller made for yourself and prevents me from having to spend money for a controller that I do not need. I hope this video was extremely helpful and informative to anyone who comes across it, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching, drop a like, it helps others find this video, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one.